And good afternoon, everybody. It's breaking news, right? Joe Biden drops out of the presidential race, right? This is the show. Let's be reasonable. Let's talk about it. I mean, I have to tell you, I expected this last week. Why did I expect it last week? Because we saw all the writing on the wall. We saw the apathy in the Democrat Party. We saw the donor pool starting to dry up. We saw states where you should be winning, you're starting to draw even. Okay, that's a recipe for disaster for the sitting president, right? So Joe Biden decides about 206. That's when I saw it, to pop out and say, "Hey, you know what? Um, I'm going to drop out of the race." And later he followed it up by saying that he endorsed Kamala Harris as his replacement. She's the nominee, right? All right. So, I mean, there you have it. So, all the people who were wishy washy, all the donors who were sitting on the sideline, guess what? Now you got money to pour into a new campaign with the headliner being Kamala Harris, right? So, it happened. It's a week late. And I'm here to tell you President Biden did everything that I said he needed to do. He needed a situation in order to change the dynamic of this conversation about his age and people asking him to drop out. He needed to change the dynamic. The dynamic that changed for a period of 7 days really was the former president's assassination attempt, right? It took all the oxygen, but there was still a rumbling or an undercurrent of Joe Biden. And I got to tell you, I mean, I saw him going up the steps to Air Force One. And I said, that's my dude right there. He's tired. And it's cool, man. I'm telling you. I mean, you know what? I'm here to tell you there is nothing that Joe Biden needs to hang his head about. Nothing at all. I mean, he is passing a great economy to his successor. That's a far cry than what Republicans have done for Democrats over the past few election cycles. And regardless of all that nonsense I sat and listened to at the Republican president or Trump's confirmation, you know, his everything he talked about, just a bunch of lies. So it's Kamala Harris for now. And look, I told you, and look, I'm allowed to revise and extend my remarks too, right? But I told you about 3 weeks ago. I just found it hard that it would be Kamala Harris. And the reason why is because I just thought she tested, you know, I thought that she probably did about the same, if not worse, than Joe Biden. But I'm here to tell you, I'm going to revise and extend my remarks. I've watched her over the past couple of weeks. Spent more time listening to her talk than Joe Biden, really. Although I did watch him at the NAACP. Good talk. Good talk. He brought up those black jobs. And you know what's so crazy about that is that Donald Trump decided to double down on that crap again at the convention. They're taking jobs away from black and brown people, African Americans, and Mexicans. I'm here to tell you, if the black unemployment rate is at an all-time low, we don't need jobs that those migrants are getting. We don't need those jobs. In fact, we have greater aspiration. And why is it that they're black and brown jobs? You mean to tell me these aren't jobs good enough for white people? Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, look, the race is Kamala Harris, or Harris is now, right? And all right, so I'm going to give it to you right now. Now, because she needs a VP, right? She needs a VP pick. I don't know if this is going to come from the party or she's going to make this decision herself, but I'm about to tell you what's going to happen. So listen up, okay? It's not going to be Andy Bashir from Kentucky. It's not going to be Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. It's not going to be Wes Moore, who would be an absolute just, I mean, hella pick if that were to happen. He would be from Maryland. It's not going to be him. It's not going to be Roy Cooper. And folks, it will not be Gavin Newsom. But I'm here to tell you, and you can say you heard it here first. The pick will be Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan. So you will have a progressive Democrat at the top of the ticket, and you will have a moderate Democrat running at the VP spot. The party will be able to coalesce around that because they will win those Rust Belt states. Gretchen Whitmer has done a hella job in Michigan. I mean, if you haven't been paying attention to Michigan, you need to go up there and take a look. I mean, so that will be the pick. And I'm here to tell you. See, this information is coming out on a Sunday. What is it, the 20th? Right? It's coming out on a Sunday. Is it the 20th? I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's the 21st. Okay, so look, and I'm here to tell you that from now until the convention, Democrats are going to be, now listen to this. Listen to me carefully here. Democrats will be behind, right? Probably -5, -7 behind the Republicans. Okay. But I'm here to tell you, after you hear the speech from Joe Biden endorsing Kamala Harris, after you hear Gretchen Whitmer prosecute the case for the Democratic Party, after you hear Kamala Harris tell you about the vision on how we move forward, I'm here to tell you. You ready for it? +5 coming out of the convention with escape velocity. I'm here to tell you, with escape velocity. That means look, the race is going to be tight. Okay. It's going to still come down to really, I'm going to say about 150,000 votes and where they fall, right? Now, if you pick up places like North Carolina, which I think is gettable now, I don't know if you get Florida, but if you picked up Florida, I'm going to tell you, stick a pin in it. It's over. It's over. If you get Florida, you just may get Ohio. Okay. I'm just telling you. That's the way that works. Okay. So, but if you get in this race and think that it's going to be, it's still going to be like 51-46, somewhere in that space, right? It's going to come down to about 150,000 votes or about 100,000 votes, whichever it is, right? But it's still going to come down to a handful of states. But this gives Democrats a leg up because they got younger, right? And it has the one ingredient that the American people just can't ignore. And that ingredient, ladies and gentlemen, is change. So you got two women running for the highest office in the land, president and vice president, the White House. America will not make the same mistake they made in 2016. And I'm here to tell you, I made that mistake too. Not going to happen again. Because everything that Donald Trump is talking about bringing you is everything you deplore. Women don't have a right to choose, but they can choose whatever they want, right? And you see that this whole just chasm of just shoving right wing tenets down your throat. You got the Heritage Foundation telling you that this will remain bloodless. The revolution will remain bloodless if Democrats allow it. What? What are you talking about? So they just want you to accept this, but you don't have to. You don't have to. So here's what I would tell you. So I've given you the pick, right? So Harris and Whitmer. But you need a message. You really need to retool your message. You need to tell Democrats and the nation, especially independents, because their independents break half and half too. There's more independents that break Democrat, but then there's like your libertarian, those guys too in that space. They're independents as well. You got to have a message that resonates to all of those independents. And I'm here to tell you the change message, along with a destination where we want to be by 2035, because this is a multicultural nation, regardless of what the right may try to tell you. And regardless of people at Project 2025 and the far right wing, those zealots, that message that they wish to prosecute and tell you that, uh, white America is the only class of people who can rule this country. You got to have a working message that brings everyone along. It's a multicultural message. Here's some of my ideas. All right. First thing off the bat, I got to tell you, I've spent the last 40 years listening to evangelical preachers. I mean, how could you not? They were everywhere, right? But I see the one group that is just missing in action are those people who aren't evangelical. I'm looking for those other pastors to stand up and tell us what the evangelicals have gotten wrong when it comes to the good news about Jesus. You got to admit, over the past 40 plus years, church attendance has gone down historically to historical lows. But you have to admit the reason why. It's because evangelical ministries, they've been lying to you. They have. Went from 70%. Now you have less than, what is it, 47%? You got 47%, less than 50% of Americans attend church on a regular basis. And I'm here to tell you, it's not because of the devil. It's because you see the lies coming from the pulpit. I need to hear from pastors that can tell me the good news who aren't evangelical, because there's more stripes to this than the evangelical stripes. So I need to hear from them. I need to hear Democrats talk about packing the Supreme Court and setting up rules governing them to term limits. I need to hear that. I need to hear that. But here's one thing I need to also hear. You know what? We always have these fights about gerrymandering. And Democrats, I'm telling you, you've been losing that fight forever. I'm here to offer you some advice. You know what? If you can't change gerrymandering, you can change apportionment. Republicans locked us in at 435 in the House back in the 1929. All right. You can change that. I don't know what the number is that you'll pick, but I think it should be somewhere around 900. Now, if it's 900, I'm telling you, the majority of those districts will be Democrat districts. Republicans aren't going to like that because that will change the dynamics of a lot of these red states. But you need to get it done. And you don't need 2/3 of majority. You just need a majority vote to change apportionment. And while you're going down that road, you might as well push for an off cycle census because you can. Anybody tells you that you can't, they're lying to you. You can, okay? And when you do, that sets you up for the next century to do some things different, because you do need to do some things different. I'm telling you, folks, what's black is white and what's white is black. That's how I see it. A lot of the things that you noted to be conservative and Republican are now conservative and Democrat. And a lot of things that you saw as liberal and Democrat are now liberal and Republican. It's a weird world, but accept it for what it is, because the deck chairs are changing. And Democrats need to jump all over term limits. If Republicans can't get it done, Democrats need to get it done. But while you're doing that, and in the vein of apportionment, I'm telling you right now, congressional pay needs to be cut. The American people don't want to be looking at an aristocratic class coming from Washington. We don't like it. So cut the pay. And you know what else I'm going to tell you to cut? Cut their benefits. If they can't provide the American people with benefits and good health care, they don't need them either. It may sound radical, but see, radical isn't communist or socialist, because that's not what we're talking about. Hell, Democrats, no Republicans know anything about. They have no idea, no concept of what communism and socialism is. They just don't. But they do know a bad deal when they see it. And every time you listen to the Trump message and you look at what he's saying, it's a bad deal for the American people as a whole. It's good for some, but it's not good for everybody. We're just a multicultural nation, people. So get over it. All right, look, I'm done. So yeah, this is the breaking news. Joe Biden's out. Kamala Harris is in. We'll see what happens on the other side of this, but I truly think that it should be a Whitmer or Harris Whitmer ticket. We'll see. But hey, like and subscribe. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. And, I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong, but I just don't think I am. I don't think I'm wrong about this. I think Harris Whitmer gives you the best chance of winning. It's change. Now, you can package that however you wish to package it, but it's change. And then when you look at Trump, it's the same old stuff that you got in 2016. And you didn't like it. I can't believe it's this close, but it is. Anyway, folks, I'm done. Hey, hope you like this broadcast, like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts, and we'll talk about more of this on the other side. Because I still got much more to say about Joe Biden, because I don't want him to be or feel as if he's underappreciated, because this guy should be celebrated. And we'll talk about that in another broadcast. Talk to you later.